Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am in a complete new location. We finally got moved. We are still in the process of moving stuff from the other house to this house, but as of right now, we're in the house. So that's why it looks a little different and bland and boring behind me. So, anywho's, you guys, I'm sure, don't care about my living arrangements. So we're just gonna jump into what this video is really about, which is Book of the Month has come in. Yay! For those of you that do not know, Book of the Month is a monthly subscription box. You get to pick out between 1 and 3 hardback books of your choice. They have, I believe it's 5 different picks. I believe 5? I think it's 5 different picks for the month. And so you get to choose what book that you want, and it gets sent to your doorstep. It is $14.99 with free shipping for the first book, and then each additional book is $9.99 after that. So, anywho's, I'm gonna jump in what they are since I picked them out, but you guys don't. So, let's break this bad boy open. Open my box. So. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see what this is. The perfect gift for everyone on your list. They usually don't send this, so I'm not sure what that is, but I don't need that, so. They send these cute little bookmarkers with all of the books that you get. This one says, pick up where you left off. So the first book, which I believe I chose to be my book of the month, is Glittering Hour by Iona Gray. It sounded really interesting. I absolutely have no idea what this book is about. I don't remember, but I remember out of the choices, I was like, oh, that one sounds good. So I figured I would go ahead and get it. So let's open her up and see what it's about. Let's see, it's an unforgettable historical novel about true love found and lost and the secrets we keep from one another. Dun dun dun. So, Selena Lennox is a bright young thing. Her life is a whirl of parties and drinking, pursued by the press and staying on just the right side of scandal, while running from the life her parents have planned for her. Lawrence Weston is a penniless painter who is drawn into Selena's orbit one fateful night, beginning a chain of events that will have a profound effect on them both. But talent and ambition are not enough to earn Lawrence a place in Selena's gilded world. And there are consequences for girls like her who break the rules. When tragedy strikes, Selena finds herself choosing what her head tells her is safe over what her heart knows is right. Spanning 2 decades, and a seismic shift in British history as World War II approaches, Iona Gray's The Glittering Hour is an epic novel of passion, heartache, and loss. So it seems to be a historical fiction, which is probably one of my favorite genres. And it is set in, World War II? Yeah, and it's British history, so it's a win-win for me. That's the first book I got. Look how pretty it is. And then they have the little Book of the Month emblem up there. And then I like how they tell you this was for December of 2019. So, there's that one. Heard so many things about this book. And everybody's like, it's the best thriller ever. So, we're going to see if you guys have been lying to me or not. Okay? We are going to see. What is my phone doing? Okay. We're going to see if you guys are lying to me or not, because I read a lot of thrillers. A lot of thrillers. And I don't feel like any of them really stand out to me, except for maybe 2 of them that I've read. And I can't even remember one of them. The other one, though, would be Riley Sager's books. I really, really like their books. So, there's that. Anywho's, book number 2 is The Lives by Taryn Fisher. And I don't really know what this book is about either. I randomly went on there and was like, okay, this one looks good. A lot of people will like this one, so I just kind of picked it because it's thriller. So yeah, why not? So let's see what the back says. He comes over on Thursday of every week. That's my day. I'm Thursday. Sometimes I wonder about the other days and if they wonder about me. Little good that does. If you wonder too hard, you get everything wrong. So just from that, I don't think I'm going to read the inside because it's pretty long. But just from that little back thing there, it kind of sounds like, obviously, the wives. There's multiple wives. So it seems like he might have one for every day of the week. And maybe just kind of how they're, I don't even know what I'm saying now. Blank moment. I don't know what it's about. I guess I gotta read it to find out. Apparently it's about the wives, and yeah. I'll go ahead and read the inside just to see, because I don't know. Okay, so he has 2 other wives. Imagine that your husband has 2 other wives. You've never met the other wives, none of you know each other, and because of this unconventional arrangement, you can see your husband only 1 day a week. But you love him so much you don't care, or at least that's what you've told yourself. But one day, while you're doing laundry, you find a scrap of paper in his pocket, an appointment reminder for a woman named Hannah, and you just know it's another one of the wives. You thought you were fine with your arrangement, but you can't help yourself. You track her down, and under false pretense, you strike up a friendship. Hannah has no idea who you really are. Then Hannah starts showing up to your coffee dates with oh my goodness, I can't talk. Telltale bruises, and you realize she's being abused by her husband, who of course is also your husband. But you've never known him to be violent, ever. Who exactly is your husband, and how far would you be willing to go to find out? And who is this mysterious third wife? All I can say is if my husband had other wives, that would be the end of them all. Very short story. That end. So, that's how I feel about that one. But, so there's this one, the wives. Number 3, because I like to be happy. So, I chose this one because it was not one of the picks. It was actually, I don't remember which month it was for. Actually, I think it was for December, but it was, I believe, the young adult pick thing. Because they have their young adult box and then they have their adult box. So I ordered after the month had already started, so I was able to go back and get the young adult. So I believe this one is young adult. Anywho's, back off my rabbit trail. I got Heartstrings and Other Breakable Things by Jacqueline Birkins. And I don't really remember what it's about now, just like the other ones. But I remember reading the synopsis of it, and it sounded good and happy, and I was like, yay, let's get something happy. I tend to get a lot of thrillers and historical doom and gloom, sad stuff, so I like to throw and incorporate a little bit of happiness every now and then. So, let's see. The active sneezing, compression, or forcing inward. Number 2, a brand of orange soda pop that would horrify your aunt if you drank it in her house. 3, a feeling you deny to everyone because you're totally focusing on your education, not your love life, but secretly you've been obsessing about this guy for years, and now you're about to talk to him. Only your social anxiety has skyrocketed, so you think you might just vomit and flee. I remember now why I like this one. Because it deals with anxiety, which, ta-da, I have been dealing with for the past few years. Which, let's see, we're going to go back off of a rabbit trail real quick. But back in 2017, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And it's basically a little switch in your brain that tells your body you need more blood, so your heart is working like double and triple time, trying to produce more blood volume for your body. So it's basically like you're running a marathon constantly, and there's nothing you can do about it other than laying down or sitting down. And even then, a lot of times it might bring your heart rate down but it doesn't bring it down to where it should be. So it makes your body go completely wonky, and I'm talking about wonky. Like, you will have headaches, nausea, dizziness, you can faint, you can get leg pulling, which is where your feet will swell because you have the blood pooling in your legs. What else? Oh, you'll get chest pains, it'll be hard to breathe. There's just a lot of stuff. You'll get stomach aches and just, it's terrible. The first time that it happened to me, I actually thought I was having a heart attack, and I went to the emergency room and they're like, you have anxiety. And I'm like, I don't have anxiety. I've never had anxiety before. So it kept happening to me. I kept going to the doctor. I went to probably 12, 13, 14 different doctors. They all kept saying, oh, you have anxiety, you have anxiety, you have anxiety. And I'm like, nope, it's not it. And at the very last, I'm like, I've been to so many doctors. Nobody can tell me what's wrong with me. So I want someone who is a specialist. I'm not leaving here until I get to see somebody. And the guy's like, okay, well, I'll send you in a referral, but you don't need one. But if it'll make you happy, I'll go ahead and do it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, go ahead and do it. So he does. I go into the cardiologist. Cardiologist immediately knows what's wrong with me. So always trust your instinct and your gut. Always. Because you know yourself more than these doctors know anything about you. And half of them are emergency workers, so they just kind of get you in there, and the doctors, they don't specialize in it. So like me, I needed a cardiologist to check out my heart, check out what was going on, and all that. Long story short, always trust yourself and demand action, because I still would not have a clue what was going on with me if I wouldn't have done that. Long story short, they put me on beta blockers and all kinds of different medication that it just wasn't working for me. So they did put me on Prozac, which is an anxiety medication, but they didn't put me on it for anxiety. They put me on it because they say it releases serotonin levels, makes them higher. Higher they are, the happier you are, the happier person, the slower your heart rate. So they were trying to stabilize my heart rate. My heart rate was from laying down 130 beats a minute. When I would stand up, it would be 186 was the highest I'd seen it. So just from standing up, my heart rate is going 186 beats a minute, which is what it should be when I'm exercising or something like that. Not just when I'm standing there doing nothing. I literally could stand up, do absolutely nothing, and my heart rate's like, and it would make me sick and dizzy, and just, it was a nightmare. I legit thought I was having a heart attack. My chest would hurt, my arms would hurt, everything would go numb. It was just, I know I'm rambling, but it was a disaster. Long story short, I know I've said this before, but the medication had helped. I got my heart rate stabilized, and I do not like being on medication. So back in August, I had to have surgery for an ectopic pregnancy. And I decided after that, I'm like, I don't want to be on medicine anymore. So I just quit cold turkey, which if you were on a high dose, do not do that. Mine was a low dose, so it was okay. So I'm not saying quit your medication. Keep your medication. But I was on such a low dose that it didn't make a difference. So I was able to stop cold turkey, and I haven't been on it since. I haven't had no problems since, and things have been pretty good. So, yeah. There's that. So, I don't remember. Oh, yeah. This book. This book deals about anxiety. So, there's my little spiel of my story. Which, that whole situation caused me to have anxiety on top of everything that was going wonky with myself, because I was scared because I didn't know what was happening, and then I would feel like I'm dying, and I'm like, I just knew I was gonna fall over and die. I just knew it. And for no reason. And I have a 5-year-old, so then my immediate thoughts is her, which gave me more anxiety, and I'm like, so anywho's, there's the brain fog that happens along with POTS. Can't remember nothing. Forgot what I was talking about. So, long story short, I don't have anxiety anymore. But because I did go through that, that's one of the reasons why I got this book, is because it deals with her having anxiety. So, I know that's I guess just a little bonus fact about me. So, there you go. So, anywho's, back to the book. Mansfield, Massachusetts is the last place 17-year-old Eddie Price wants to spend her final summer before college. It's the home of wealthy suburbanities and prima donnas like Eddie's cousin, who are determined to distract her from her mother's death with cute boys and Cinderella-style makeovers. Eddie has her own plans, and they don't include a Prince Charming. But as Eddie dives into schoolwork and applying for college scholarships, she finds herself drawn to two Mansfield boys who start vying her for attention. First, there's Sebastian, Eddie's childhood friend and first love. He's sweet, smart, and already has a girlfriend. Then there's Henry, the local bad boy and all-around player. He's totally off limits, even if his kisses are chemically addictive. Both boys are trouble. Eddie can't help but get caught between them. Someone's heart is going to break. Now she just has to make sure it isn't hers. So, it just sounds like it's going to be a nice little book. So, there's that. Anywho's, those are my 3. Woo, I got out of focus there. Those are my 3 picks for the month. So, there they are. Well, thank you guys for watching, and there I'm going blurry again. Let's get back there. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and if you will give my crazy video here a thumbs up and some comments and love and whatnot, I will return it. I thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!